The next trade is Dante Fowler Jr. being traded from the Jacksonville Jaguars to the LA Rams. And we knew that the Rams would probably be an active team at the trade deadline this year because overall, you know, Fowler is a player that can help them at a position of need. The Rams really needed an edge rusher. They have Sue. They have Donald. You know, they have these big guys in the middle of their defense that can really disrupt a pocket and push it forward. But they did not have that edge rusher with the speed and ability of Dante Fowler to get around the edge and to get to the quarterback. And now they finally found that player. For the Jaguars, this is a player that wasn't exactly working out in the locker room, wasn't exactly the best in the locker room in terms of he was just a personality that wasn't working with the team. And for the Rams, this is a player that helps them in a position of need for a contending team that is looking for the final pieces to their puzzle to win a Super Bowl. So for both sides, this makes sense. Now, I do think the Rams overpaid for Dante Fowler. Personally, I think Dante Fowler is a pretty good player with good pass rushing ability and in certain games can make, you know, some plays, but I don't feel like he is a player worth a 3rd and a 5th round pick. So the Jaguars definitely got good value for him. But then on the opposite perspective, you're talking about a Rams team who's looking to win the Super Bowl right now. And by getting Fowler at that position of need, they feel like they have basically added a player that can help them get that Super Bowl. So honestly, you shouldn't care much if you're a Rams fan what you gave up. Yes, 3rd and 5th, that's quite a bit for Fowler. He's still a young player. His contract is coming up pretty quickly here. It's going to be interesting to see if the Rams can actually afford him. And this might be more of a rental than anything. But they do get a player, an impact player on the edge that can get after the quarterback. He is a little bit weaker in run defense, so that is a concern. He's not a complete player, but he is a good speed rusher that can basically be a good complement to Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh on this defense, and could probably play more than he did in Jacksonville. So we'll see how Wade Phillips uses him in this defense. Maybe even in the traditional 3-4 sense, he plays a little bit more of a 3-4 outside linebacker role and goes nickel on nickel plays. You know, he plays defensive end. We'll see what they do with him. But again, I felt like the Jaguars got really good value. A 3rd and a 5th is nice for a team that's probably not going to make the playoffs this year. They really need a quarterback. They still have a lot of talent on the defensive line, so it's not necessarily a loss. And they had a surplus of those players. So they pick up picks for different players, maybe offensive linemen for the future, maybe receivers, maybe a quarterback that they can utilize in this year's and next year's upcoming draft. So I think both teams won this trade. The Rams in the standpoint of they're going for it. They're trying to win the Super Bowl, and they got a player at position of need. And for the Jaguars, they got some picks that can help them at other positions with a team that is kind of in a weird situation right now, and they're getting rid of a locker room cancer in a certain standpoint. So good trade for both teams. And I think overall, it's going to be interesting to see what Dante Fowler can do as an LA Ram.